$14,000 Toyota Hilux Surf desperately needs some modifications. It needs some love, it needs some paint, but we're not doing any of that. Instead, we're gonna be changing all the good stuff, starting off with our very own wheels from Ray's. We're gonna be throwing some JDM wheels on our Hilux Surf, and of course, we got some brand new BFG KO3s. Now, I'm not a truck guy, but I do know BFGoodrich, and I do know the KO3 is probably one of the best tires you could possibly throw on this thing. And then, of course, we have a table of lighting, because overland people hate shadows. They're scared shitless of shadows. And so that means I had to reach out to Morimoto Lighting and get every single possible option they could give me to make sure that shadows are gone. I'm very, very excited for this. Plus, we've got some new headlights, we've got some new stuff for this car, and you and me are putting it together. I've said car 3-4 times and I don't give a shit, okay? It's an SUV, but we're gonna mod this thing for under $20,000 because most of my budget went to those. Let's get into it. When I sold the Gloria to get the Toyota Hilux, I thought to myself, Alex, are you an idiot? You don't know anything about SUVs. I then proceeded to get reprimanded by the entire 4Runner audience that no one refers to their 4Runner as an SUV. It's a lifestyle. It's more than a vehicle. I don't know what I'm supposed to do with that information because all I wanted to do with you was build something kind of rad for wintertime. Now, we could start with fluids, new brake pads, reliable maintenance things that would make sense for a vehicle that's traveled 7,000 miles and has been 26 years old and was probably owned by one person, but instead we're just going to be installing new wheels. All right, so you might be wondering, what wheel did I get and why is it so rare? Now, I have deemed it rare because I want to grow up and I want to be like an RWV person where they're like one of one, first of first in New Jersey. I have no idea if this has been anywhere else on the internet, but when I heard the color jungle green, I wanted to have it. And you can let me know in the comments, of course, if you think this is a really stupid idea. But here they are, and I think they look super sick. Why green wheels? Steven and Jackson, they hate it, okay? But I think it's rad. And the 57 DRXs are the only JDM wheels under $2,300 on Martini Works that I could find. But Volks were actually a few viral videos away from me. Just remember the budget being $20,000. Now, BFGoodrich, on the other hand, these things, they're the cat's ass. Like anything you think you know about off-road tires, just throw that away, put it in a closet, shut the door, don't ever open it, and let it just marinate in the past, because the BFG TA KO3s are the first bite into a home-cooked meal. And I hope you're ready for all of these value props. They've got updated serrated shoulder design for mud and snow. We're using that. Mud-phobic bars for mud traction. All new compound for a 50,000 mile warranty on a vehicle that only has 30,000 miles, and a sidewall design with white lettering to let everyone know that you are, in fact, a certified badass. Now, they are badass, and I got the tires from TireWheelExperts.com. Don't worry, all the value props that I just said are real, and people that actually use this tire are gonna tell you that it's actually a good tire. Okay, so while we wait for the wheels and tires to get mounted, I've decided that we are going to put every possible light that I could find in Morimoto's catalog on the Hilux Surf. Now, why I've chosen to do that is because I've seen off-roaders having a billion lights. They're apparently scared of shadows. But to do that in a day, I needed to ask for some help, which is why I have...
I'm Joe. I'm the marketing coordinator and also installer at Morimoto.
I don't know what the hell I'm doing, but he sure as hell does. So we're gonna get this done today. We have Morimoto's help with setting all this stuff up. What do we got here? There's a lot of stuff.
Yes, we have 16 rock lights, it'll look like this thing is about to take off into space. We have a bunch of tube hangers for the ditch lights. We're gonna do some flush mounts on the rear, complete LED bulb upgrade. You know, we got just about everything you can do to Morimoto this thing out.
You thought you were blind with normal headlights going down the highway from like Teslas? You ain't seen shit until I'm done with you. All right, let's get this thing installed. Now let's get to work. Have you ever found something you were interested in and then hyper-fixated on it until it took over every waking moment of your life? Like Escape from Tarkov or cooking, perhaps, knitting or ChatGPT? That was me learning about lighting. Now, this is the #1 mod I almost always ignore unless my project is an old car or truck from the 1990s. While you save money buying something direct from Japan through Driver Motorsports' inventory, you do get the cons of dealing with things like crusty headlights, bad bulbs, and the things that kind of give you that mothball smell, you know what I'm saying, but like visually. So Morimoto is gonna help me fix that. He's running. It's taking him a little bit longer. Okay.
Here is the OEM bulb. Here is the new bulb. You can see it's a little longer, a little more well endowed, if you would. So when you put this guy on here, it fits in this housing just fine. You can look inside there, you can see there's a cover, right? This one fits just fine. Because this bulb is longer, figure it out, dude. Get it together. There we go. When you go to put it in there, bottom's out. That's bad, because then we can't pop, lock, and drop it, you know what I'm saying?
So what's the plan?
Right now, John is going to see if we can get this baked open, heat it up, and then pop the lens off and pull the amber piece out of the inside. If we can't, we can take a big ass drill bit and drill a big ass hole in it and just self-clearance it so it sits in there like that.
I like that one.
Don't mind me just finger deep in a tail light. There we go.
Oh, Jesus! It's like welding. When you're getting something that's so old, sometimes just doing the little stuff is just as rewarding as doing the big stuff. Now, these had an LED already in them. Somebody from previous ownership must have thought that they were really exciting. And this is actually a pretty cool LED bulb, but I just showed you the difference between the two. It's not just about how many diodes it has, it's about how powerful everything operates together. Combined, I mean, you could put 10 of these next to a Morimoto bulb, and I still don't think you'd have much of a fighting chance.
Good.
Budget reminder, we're trying to keep this thing under $20,000, and I would say we are doing a pretty good job. The actual Hilux itself was like $14-ish thousand. Wheels, $2,061.80. Tires, $1,834.60. The Morimoto lighting, $4,232.40. But hey, the depot headlights were only $112, the side markers were $65, and the signal lights were $36. So we're saving where we can, and it might be a little bit of feeling like we're choking on the light bill, but it is a ton of lights, and it's all Morimoto stuff. There's 30 individual new LED bulbs getting added to the old Helios here, plus a set of 2 bangers and 4 bangers so we can see the road ahead of us, and then the road ahead of the road, ahead of that road. Plus ditch lights in case we want to just take a peek at what's going on down there, and some tail light, reverse lights, and some bumper lights because I'm afraid of shadows, I guess.
Now listen, everybody wants to be a truck guy until it's time to do truck guy shit. And what I mean by that is everyone wants to be a truck guy until you put bigger wheels and tires on your vehicle. What happens is sometimes bigger aftermarket wheels and tires don't always fit the way that your OEM ones did. 285/65/18 on an 18x9 rubs just a little bit up here on the inside of the fender flare. So we're gonna go in here, we're gonna lay some tape, and then we're gonna actually line it. We're gonna come in, we're gonna trim that out with just a die grinder quick, or a Dremel tool rather. Really simple. You're probably never even gonna notice that it's been trimmed unless you're like a 4Runner and Hilux Surf purist. This is definitely something that if you're gonna do it, you wanna take your time, lay the tape, draw your line out, really walk through it, make sure it's exactly what you want. Because once you cut it, you can't put that material back. Remember that.
There are 2 ways you can buy wheels for an off-road vehicle. You can be a weenie, trusting some garbage fitment site that's gonna tell you that the wheels and tires that you want won't fit because they don't want the liability. Or you just make them fit, like a double down on an 11. We just needed to trust old Dusty here to politely and respectfully and consensually cut it up to make it fit, which we did. And it looks fantastic because it finally came together. It's pretty bitchin'. Yeah, man, it looks good. I'm gonna be honest, I feel like the baby puke green wheels accurately make it better.
They're unique.
No, I think they're perfect. There's only been one other dream I've always wanted to do.
What's that?
Besides collecting all the dust to sell it on eBay instead of bath water, I've always really wanted to clean an SUV with another guy.
I'm in.
It looks the same.
Definitely the same. But it's got rock lights now.
I think we made the hood worse.
JDM.
The paint still needs help, or a religion, but we could wrap it too. I'd leave it up to you. You can tell me what you think we should do. I'm more on the wrapping side personally because painting seems like a disaster. But I am AlexMartini, and I'm sorry for selling my drift car for an SUV. I promise not to add any little ladders on this thing, and I promise we will actually use this for some form of intended purpose. So subscribe, and we'll see you next week for the next episode.